Out here with Jungle Jay on the boat, waiting for 21st Century Expeditions to arrive. We're taking a venture out onto the river, into the wilderness. How you doing today, Jay?
Yeah, no, we're gonna be taking care of business here in a minute. So as soon as he jumps on board, we're gonna haul tail.
Take a look at this. People already loading up, getting into the water. They've been out here already for a couple hours. People have been out here. It's getting busy now. Folks out here launching jet skis and boats into the water.
That's good.
Beautiful day to be out.
Copy, I marked the waypoint to another mission mark. I can't believe I found it.
Get you some footage of you guys real quick.
My lens is all wet.
So we're pulling up to this area. It could be a shell midden. Beautiful.
Led us to Indian kitchen midden.
Looks like it. See, I saw it, and I was like, you know what? This is probably a midden.
Look,
Cut the motor and decided to pull on up.
there it is, and there's some ropes here along the shore of this mound, and you can see some shells and pottery fragments here. You can see where the water washes the pottery fragments onto the shore here. Exploring around this area, appears to be an old Indian mound, shell midden, lots of shells around the area and pottery fragments I'm observing here.
Some ancient pottery fragments. Pottery back then is very similar to the terracotta pots in stores today made for plants. They're very similar. They break just as easily. And when they broke back then, they would discard them into these mounds. And that's why you can see them here today. And if you look over here, there's a huge cluster of shells. Most of them are from Indians back in the day. But a lot of them are from wading birds that ate them.
So we saw this piece of pottery here, and you said it has a check stamp pattern.
Yeah, it looks like it to me.
Let's take a
Little
look.
telltale squares. I mean, there's shards everywhere on this mound. I don't think I've seen as many shards as this mound. I mean, they're just everywhere. You can find them by sight.
Yeah, that one has a texture on it, as you mentioned. And I imagine the other ones that we're seeing could have been textured to just eroded away.
Yeah, with all these little microscopic little shells and the waves that come in from all this boating activity. Obviously, it's an abrasive material that's just going to wash over top of it and smooth out any textures that would have been there.
Take a look at this. More pieces here. Take a look at the mound from this angle. Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see the formations here.
See how the waves have splashed up and dragged all the shell out.
Yeah, a lot of erosion. So imagine how much erosion has gone on over the years and how much larger this midden was at one time.
heads up. Come, watch your footing.
So we found this area and we think it may be a possible Indian mound, or it could be an old logging tram or something like that. What do you guys think so far?
Well, I leave it up to you guys. You're the experts with the topo maps and stuff. You tell me.
Well, yeah, we're reviewing some maps of the area and just really got to get out here and scout around and see what you can.
Right. I mean, I've seen some clamshells and stuff, but like we discussed earlier, they could have been dropped by birds and stuff. So, I can't imagine it being anything more than that because there's only a handful of shells. You know, and obviously there's no pottery shards, so this could have been a logging.
So we're exploring around this area. We're not sure if it's an Indian mound or a logging tram. It's all built up back in there.
Yeah, I was looking around for a deer stand.
But look at
We
this,
came across this salt lick here.
a salt lick.
Yeah. Well, they use it for cattle and other wildlife. You can drop this here and deer will come by and pig will come by and lick on it. And it's just a big block of salt. And it's, you can see, I mean, you can see that they wear it away. I mean, it's been used.
Yeah. What would happen if you?
Tracks that I've seen through here, guy, were deer tracks. So I haven't seen any cattle tracks at all.
Maybe it's for people like me.
I see some people tracks down there.
So you gonna lick that?
I'll
No.
lick it.
No.
What would happen if you
Plenty of
lick?
salt in my diet.
What would happen if you lick this?
My doctor actually told me I have to eat more salt.
So there you go.
Get on it.
That's why we brought you out here today. Actually,
Yeah,
doctor's
salt
orders
for you.
said you had to get salt intake. We knew where a salt lick was out here.
So a lot of animals will actually lick off of this. You can see this right here has been licked like crazy, but you can also see the size of the tongue that's being lit, that's being used to lick out this big groove
Yeah.
right here. See that? It's got texture and everything. So that tongue is only like 2 fingers wide.
We're exploring along this area. We found another mound. It's incredible, all the history that we're seeing today. What do you think so far?
We found some pretty incredible things.
I
We
know.
ran into that petrified bone, and then we ran into the tooth that we just found, and we're running into tons of pottery. And how many mounds have we found today?
Several mounds we've been
Several.
to. And it's part of the expedition that we're on today, and it's amazing to see all this beauty and history.
And they're,
Let's venture here into the woods.
and they're tons. They're really like diverse too. Like no mound is the same.
Yeah, they're all different and unique.
Like that. The one was it was really hilly. And it was big. This one's more settled,
Yeah.
and it's more.
Yeah, this one is more eroded and flattened out. And the other one was definitely more terrain to it, more formations.
Right down here, this is what seems to be European type pot shard. Then over here we have more Indian pot shard. It seems to be check stamp textured. And then what we have seems to be a fossilized alligator scute. And then also the most amazing thing I think is a tooth. It looks like either a camel, a horse, or a llama tooth.
You say something?
Oh yeah, come here, check this out.
Here's Jungle Jay has found something very interesting. Let's go take a look.
Maybe a brush texture or some
Yeah,
other
maybe.
form of texture.
Well, I mean, whatever it is, this guy right here had been that texture right there had been baked into that pot. But this line right here is so irregular that it has to be handmade.
Yeah, I mean, it's I would say it is Native American. I mean, it's right here on an Indian mound, and there's tons of potsherds around. That's an awesome discovery there.
So we made our way to another mound out here. This is fascinating, all the different mounds that we're seeing. What do you think of this? You can see this large pottery fragment here, and there's part of a texture there. Still remains on the fragment. So you see this midden here, the smaller wood.